the latest case is the chat GPT, so much of hype, and now we come to realize the security risks in them. What I hear is the malware can be easily launched, coding can be done using your generative chat GPT. Now consumers are more smarter, they are demanding, they are looking for what are the security features. This was not the case earlier.
Hello everyone, welcome to Gaurav Batra show. And today I'm in Bangalore and I'm meeting someone very special to me. He has been mentor and guide. He has always supported us, and specifically the entry to Bangalore, which was open for CXO Junction, he has given his immense support. So most of the people know him as risk and compliance expert. So with us today we have Ram Kumar Ganpati. He has 25 years of experience in risk and compliance, and I think in cybersecurity industry, people know him as a brand. Okay, so welcome Ram to Gaurav Batra show. Okay, I think most of the people know you as risk and compliance expert, but I know you started your journey as a IT expert or as a IT professional. How this movement to the compliance or GRC or how that shift happened?
Sure, Gaurav. Thank you very much for having me here. I'm honored and privileged to be here with you. So when I started my career, I was with non-IT initially for 3 years. Then I moved into information security. This was way back in 2003, and I started my career with the American ISP. And my first break was into information security. Those days it was called information security, and then later the term cyber came into being. So within 2 years of my career, I got an opportunity to work for a European MNC. And they were big into physical security guarding, manned guarding, and electronic surveillance. And they wanted to launch cybersecurity as a business unit.
Okay.
That's where I got into risk and compliance. And from there, my journey just carried on.
Amazing. And I think when you started with risk and compliance, as a professional, so everyone has a career and growth. But you as a person, when I specified in the intro, it's a brand, right? Because I know when you actually become associated with CyberFrat, many people became our member. When you actually touch CXO Junction, people started coming to the forum of CXO Junction, and I know how with CSA your association and how it started. When you thought just apart from your career, the networking is important, and what all forums you have been part of?
Very interesting question. In fact, I'm not a brand or any such thing.
For us you are.
I'm just a normal cybersecurity professional who've been trying to, be, keeping pace with the industry trends and technologies. So nothing great about it, because we all need to have that constant connect so that we keep pace with the technology and regulatory areas, right? So when I started my career, I knew that I didn't want to be one among the hundreds of technical professionals, with due respect to them. I wanted to get out of the pile and make a mark for myself. So it was very critical for me to get on to managerial and eventually leadership positions pretty quickly. And luckily, I was, with all my efforts and hard work and support of my mentors and bosses, I was able to quickly get on to the leadership roles. And then I realized that you need to have good connect with the industry, networking, attending conferences and meetings, getting that kind of exposure is very critical. So I started associating with DSCI in 2007-8 types,
Okay.
DSCI Bangalore chapter. Then I was very much interested in business continuity and disaster recovery. So I was part of one founding team for a non-profit organization called Business Resilience Consortium. So it had 5-6 folks from industry, from big companies. So we all came together and started running it. We used to have Meet the Experts program once in a month. So that was a good break for me to get to know and get know people and leaders in the industry. And after that, I started associating with. After BRC, then we got into BCI UK,
Okay.
Business Continuity Institute. Then slowly I started focusing more into cybersecurity, and BCP was not relevant to my core career. Then I disassociated and got into cybersecurity forum. In the last few years, I've been associated with, of course, ISACA, because I did a few critical certifications.
Yes.
So that was one. Then last few months, I am very closely associated with another non-profit organization called Cloud Security Alliance,
Yes.
Bangalore chapter. It's a pro bono, involvement, and we keep organizing events, monthly meetups, just to promote adoption of cloud security best practices among industry professionals and academia. So that is giving me a lot of exposure to the industry folks, and it gives a lot of satisfaction that we are able to make whatever minor difference. It definitely helps the professionals to learn and get on with it, right? So these are the different security forums I'm involved with.
Okay, and I think so. What I can get your conversation, the mentorship, the right kind of mentorship, internal in the organization, as well as having exposure to the what industry peers are doing, and networking them with them, learning, and I think that helps. Intellectually and strategically, to grow yourself as a leader. And I think, as you mentioned, it can be quickly a pathway to be a leader, right? So taking back the conversation to the technicals, and of course, guys, Ram has mentioned many names. Don't forget CyberFrat and CXO.
Of course, before I forget, CyberFrat, I got associated in 2021. I'm one of the early members, pioneers.
Exactly.
We signed up. It's been a great journey in terms of learning, exposure on technical areas, on governance areas, across cybersecurity. So it is a great platform for young professionals to, cut their teeth into cybersecurity and get on to the learning mode.
So
that way,
बोलते हैं ना हिंदी में, नहीं बोलोगे तुम कह के करवाएंगे, ब्रांडिंग तो करवाएंगे, है ना? तो वैसा है. But anyways, taking back to the technicals, I know for each and every organization, risk and compliance is a most important part, right? With the emerging technologies, when we have that, organization having the cutting edge technologies, organization are moving to cloud, IoT is coming big way, RPA is there, AI ML is coming in, right? Most of the organizations have started implementing those emerging technologies.
So,
how you see the risk and compliance piece is getting changed, it's getting important, or it's getting the directional changes? What's your point of view on that?
So each industry sector uses it in different way. You look at healthcare. I was part of a healthcare conglomerate, a European company. So their RPA was big. And banking industry, blockchain is huge. And now AI is coming in a big way. So each of these technologies has a lot of functional utility, but at the same time, security risks are a big concern. The latest case is the ChatGPT, so much of hype, and now we come to realize the security risks in them. What I hear is the malware can be easily launched, coding can be done using your generative ChatGPT, and that is a big scare. And also, in terms of drafting a very convincing phishing campaign message, email message, ChatGPT can do in seconds. So all these threat actors can misuse this technology and launch attacks, and that is very risky. And again, now corporates have started to realize how ChatGPT is actually a vector for leaking information, sensitive code, because developers, they post code to check whether the code is right or wrong, it works or not. So all those things, there are companies who already lost sensitive code for their products by their engineers trying to put it in the site, right? So all those things. In countries like Italy has already banned ChatGPT over privacy concerns. So security and privacy is very critical. It's not just the functional utility and advantage of any new technology. So that's where it's very important that these new technologies are secure. For example, all our we use Fitbit watches. So
Yes.
what kind of data they collect? So much of intimate health records, health details and parameters. Now, are we sure how secure are they? Who's the manufacturer? What is their security posture? What if they are using it for immense data analytics and then try to cross-sell or monetize the data? It is very risky. And we should be very careful in evaluating. And of course, now consumers are more smarter. They are demanding. They are looking for what are the security features. This was not the case earlier. Say 10 years back, we just looked at the functional capability of the product and we bought. Today, customers are demanding what kind of security controls do you have, right? You look at automotive sector, the sector that I currently am in. Cars are no longer the simple mechanical and electrical contraption. Today's connected cars are a big way. So much thousands of sensors are there. Literally, a car is a data center on wheels. Number of sensors they have, and it actually impacts your life safety. In both healthcare and automotive, if something goes wrong, like a hacker is able to hack into your systems, it actually impacts the life safety. Whereas in banking or any other place, it's more of data theft and financial loss and identity theft. Whereas these two sectors, it impacts people's life safety. That's where it becomes all the more critical to build in more security, posture, improve the posture with new technologies and people and processes. So my take is, technology should be used properly and along with adequate security and privacy controls.
So risk and compliance is going to get more and more in demand with emerging technologies coming in picture. Because you mentioned rightly the chat GPT, right? So much buzz around that word, and I think we have already started getting the news where people have actually given some important information to chat GPT to get something out of it. Because right now we don't know what's gonna happen in that space. But one of the quote which I was reading today, that you will not lose your job to AI, but to someone who uses AI, right? It's like how you're going to upskill yourself.
Yes.
That is important, right?
Yes.
But with AI in risk and compliance space, we are seeing like already infrastructure as a code, or we call it compliance as a code, coming in place, right? So like if I talk about cloud, so most of the cloud solutions or the things comes in a way that you out of the box, they give you all the compliance and risk. Like even if you spin a machine, you are getting an alert if it is there, if the port is open, if you're the any storage firewalls or anything which is coming in. And even I heard that VAPT, right, which is getting modded with the AI that is gonna be there. Like AI is will take away all the jobs of script kiddies or initial scanners which we are doing, right? So that is the big way. So how you see the impact of AI on risk and compliance, and do the internal auditors or risk managers need to be worried? Because external definitely gonna stay, because we require the signing authority, right? Straight away, how you think AI is gonna impact risk and compliance professions?
See, AI again is it's built on a large language model, NLP, all of that. But to keep it updated, it takes a lot of effort by the AI folks, right? So only routine, mundane tasks may be automated, but definitely you need a human oversight. So I don't think there will be a mass layoff because of AI adoption. Some low-level, repetitive kind of job profiles may get impacted, but people who upskill themselves, they don't have to worry. I don't think there is unnecessary worry or need to be concerned about AI adoption leading to mass layoffs. It's not going to happen. And where you need human oversight and intelligence, definitely that cannot be replaced by AI. AI has its own impact, but it is not to the extent which people imagine to be, or the hype is going around.
So you means the risk and compliance people AI will not take the jobs away. So
Not,
that's your
not
bet on
really,
that.
not really,
Okay.
because the kind of security regulations and privacy controls, regulation-based controls are coming in. You definitely need human oversight on all of that.
Maybe if
right?
there is a regulatory guidelines comes that
yeah.
regulations will not be managed by AI,
Yes.
jobs will not go away because it's end of the day it's a regulation, right?
And again, AI is not regulated at all currently.
Exactly.
It's a lot of work
So-
needs to be done to pass legislative law. How do you manage artificial intelligence users, misuses, and penalties and stuff? So there a lot of work needs to be done. There always law takes time to catch up with the technology pace. That's how it is. So all over a lot of concern and work is going on around legislation around AI and new emerging technologies.
That's interesting, and I think when the people who are watching here, there are many students. When I look into the students, so in the college, right, it's a core technical subjects are given, and then they feel like, okay, first of thing they want to be ethical hacker. Then the second, if they talk, that want to be information security experts, and we are actually promoting that making concept. How you as a risk and compliance expert, you will advise, or you will what I call is market risk and compliance jobs over ethical hacking jobs or cyber security architecture technical jobs, because today I think the student which we have, the youth we have, they don't want to go into risk compliance, and seems like it's a boring one, and when it says, oh, it's a hacking and break, it's a more of
Fun.
end-to-end fun part over there. So how you will say risk and compliance are better jobs, and people, and majorly what kind of people can be in this kind of job?
Okay. While you asked pointedly at risk and compliance, but I'll make the my response pretty generic. It's always good to start with a specialization in a technical area. So there is no two ways about it. So whatever domain you choose, you want to be in ethical hacking, doing vulnerability scans and penetration testing, or you want to get into application security, or whatever domain. You start well, but it is not going to help you in the long run. Beyond a point, you need to get on to the managerial roles, and then coming into governance, risk and compliance, what we call as the GRC domain. That needs a strong technical foundation. So whatever domain you start with, that is going to help you build your career if you are interested in GRC. The stepping stone to GRC is, of course, the technical competence and expertise. Then you can get on to audit roles. So become an auditor. Then from there, it is pretty easy to, widen your horizon and learn stuff on compliance things, have strong competence in enterprise risk management. And from then it is easy to, build your career in GRC. I would say GRC is more of a apex role. When you understand GRC in your career, somewhere when you get into the middle management roles, GRC will help you. And it could be a launch pad for becoming a CISO. Right. Okay. So CISO, as a CISO, of course, there are different types of CISOs depending on the orientation they have. There could be technical CISO. There are purely compliance based driven CISOs. So definitely a strong grounding in technology plus GRC will be a super combination for your leadership role in running cybersecurity in any organization.
And my last question to you will be, Ram, what are the 3 core skills, okay, if anyone need to have if they are going to be or they want to have expertise in risk and compliance?
Yeah, of course. The core, skills I would say is keep learning, constant learning, because you have to keep pace with technology, with business changes, with regulatory domains. So all of this needs a very strong orientation towards learning, because the degree or the certification you get is not the be all and end all. Especially in a domain like cybersecurity, you have to constantly update. So for folks who want to build a career in cybersecurity, you should always put on your learning hat. The other way is also passive learning. Keep reading, keep looking at things, and keep an eye on what's happening around. Participate in conferences, meetings, network with people. That will give you a lot of exposure then. I'm not trying to belittle formal structured education. This learning also is very important. So that is number 1, constant learning. Second is, you need to be able to have that capability to execute. Delivery excellence is very important. It's not enough you have all the knowledge, but if you don't know how to deliver a project, how to ensure your goals are actually implemented. So that is a core thing. Delivery track record is important so that you are ready for higher responsibilities, maybe in a leadership role. And third thing is never lose enthusiasm for cybersecurity. Be curious and keep learning. Stay hungry, stay foolish. With that, I think these three things are, you have to have a lot of enthusiasm and cheerfulness. It's not easy. If you ask any CISO, their day is not easy. So you have to approach your daily routine, your job, your career, and a lot of enthusiasm. With all the cyber threats going on, it's never the same day for every day. Every day is different. So have this enthusiasm and cheerfulness in your approach. Have that optimism that things will get better, and you are putting your best effort and all of that. Definitely your career will rock with these three key things. Yeah.
Thank you, Ram. I think most valuable lessons which we have got from you, and specifically my previous episodes were quite technical, and when this is risk and compliance, I think the viewers must appreciate the information which they have got from you. Thank you for being in the show and giving us the privilege to talk to you.
My pleasure, Gaurav. Thanks again for inviting me here. I'm really happy that this is a good platform to express my thoughts and views. Thanks again.
Thank you, Ram.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. And I will see you in the next episode. Stay tuned.